And we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of This Week in Real Estate, hosted by the Bearded Men of Real Estate. I'm Ray. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Malarsh.
And that's Dan. And we've been having a little pre-show fun
Yeah,
in the old clubhouse.
By the way, if you hate the banter that we're about to get into, you missed the pre-show show
join
banter
Clubhouse
on
early.
Clubhouse. Yeah. By the way, Ray forgot that he had sound effects last week. So this week there's going to probably be
way more,
a little bit of a makeup for a lot of them. So it's going to be extra this week. We apologize in advance.
Melanie, hey, how are you? So I'm looking at Clubhouse right now, and we've got a lot of people in there. Feel free to use that little button at the bottom with the little box and the arrow to share on Clubhouse. You also, if you're joining us in Clubhouse, you want to follow the Real Estate Networking Club. So the little green button at the very top of that, you want to click that and follow it so that you're alerted of other shows and clubhouses like this one.
And it's now over 35,000 members in there. Woo.
Wow. That's a big group.
Awesome. Yeah,
we're also broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're joining us there, then you can comment and we can display your comment, just like Matt LaMarche was urging us to go live. He's really excited about this being a better show. Hey, Stephanie Morgan's here. So she says, OMG, I'm here.
Hi, Steph. Can we call you Steph? I feel like I feel a connection with you commenting through YouTube. So hi, Steph. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Steph. So today, I don't know if you guys read the description, but I was very explicit in the description of what we're going to talk about because we got a lot of news. But whenever you start to kind of piece all this stuff together, then you start to realize that this could be a bad picture moving forward for the real estate industry, right? So we have lower sales year over year than we did last year. We have non-banks not making money. We have ibuyers going belly up or in the red. We have real estate companies scaling back on stock awards and such for their agents. We have some banks getting sued, mortgage rates surging faster than expected. The Fed saying that they're going to hike rates even more. We have inflation through the roof. People's disposable income is going down. And the question we're going to ask today, as a result of all this, could this be the calm before the storm that we're in right now? It doesn't feel calm, but could this be, I think I said, the secret housing crash that no one is talking about? So that's going to be a theme going through the show today. And any industry professional out there, we want your comments on it.
And is it like traffic? Like when you're driving and there's no traffic, you're like, dude, there's no traffic today. And all of a sudden what happens? You're in traffic.
You realize it's Sunday. Oh, I see.
No matter what day, it could be 2 a.m, dude. Nice, easy drive home from the bar. I'm not drunk. Everything's going to be cool. Not going to get pulled over. Boom, traffic. Because I talked about it. So now that is that for me not being drunk? So now
that's you in traffic.
Now that we're talking about this housing crash, it's a secret, but are we making it not a secret anymore, Ray?
Yeah. Could this be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Are we going to get Susie Ormond? Are we going to be wrong?
Man, I don't know. So here, I love when you bring her up. Everyone just goes, So I have, and I don't know where. Tango down. I don't know when I'm going to bring this up, but I'll bring it up at some point because one of the articles mentioned it. So I did a little sleuthing on my own and I found a report. Yeah, I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist, dude. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist. I don't have any background in it other than 4 years of this show. I don't have any education in it other than 4 years of this show. And 180 episodes? How many have we done now?
This is episode 182.
Holy, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So if you guys are
200
new to
episodes. Yeah.
If you guys are new to this, we do about an hour and a half, and we've done that 181 previous times. So you have some good content to go back through.
Yeah, well, there's some back episodes to catch up on.
Our first few shows were bad. Don't watch those. But once we figured it out. But no, I found some good stuff because one article does mention it. So we'll see if Ray reads that portion. But I'm gonna
pressure's on.
I'm gonna yeah.
I feel like there's more out there going on than articles were written for. Does that make sense? Like we just from covering the show or from covering these topics through the show for 182 episodes. There's more that could have been written about everything economically that's happening. But I think there's still a big portion of the press that is focused on the war, right? And because of that, there's less focus on what's happening domestically. But there's definitely more news out there than what was reported on. So,
well, and I was looking yesterday, and I started, finding some stuff here and there, and then I found the Real Deal, the website, and all of a sudden I was like, there's a lot of stories on here.
There's a lot.
No, CNBC we pull a lot from. Housing Wire we pull a lot from, but these stories, there's not a lot on these other websites.
We stopped using Business Insider because the source was not trustworthy.
And it proved to not be trustworthy multiple times. But but this Real Deal, which I don't know, we're gonna have to do a little more research on it. But is it real? But they had some good stuff, and it's all, talking about stats and facts and things that we normally comment on. So we pulled a lot of good stuff from here today.
Speaking of comments, Dan, I was just looking through the comments that we've had so far, and strikingly, there's one person missing that is almost always the first commenter. And then I just peeked in Clubhouse, and there she is, Melissa Marr.
She's in Clubhouse, and
she's on the audio now. So
yeah,
writing is. I'm here.
See,
now she could be an actual commenter.
That's right. Matt Lamar says, "How are we celebrating 200 episodes?" Yeah, that would be a big deal. We gotta figure something out. Maybe. I wonder if
the camera on me drunk.
We popped the cork at 100 episodes. Maybe I wonder if the timing of that would be like in August, because if so, we'll have to do the math on that and figure out when that is. If the timing is near August, then we may be able to celebrate the 200th episode live and have like a live show. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and for you guys who don't know, I know Ray and I are best friends, and we seem like best friends. We've only met and hung out 2 times.
That's right, in real life, yeah.
Twice.
Well, we hung out. I mean, it was like 2 weeks, but yeah.
It was a long period of time. we jammed a bunch of best friend stuff into a small amount of time, but yes.
Oh, see, Matt Lamar says June 29th, but we're probably not going to hit every single week between now and then. So it very well could be the 200th episode at Tom Ferry's Summit, and we could do a live thing.
He did the math for us. If you don't,
he did the math for us. That's why I love the show. Speaking of, if you guys hate the banter, it's too late today. But in the future, if you're watching this on the replay, you could go down to the description and you'll see the headlines that we're talking about, and you can see timestamps for those headlines. So if you're just like, when are they going to talk about Compass claiming the top brokerage spot in 2021? You can just go down there and see it, click on it, be zoomed right to that part of the show.
Yeah.
So there you go. Virtual besties. Matt LaMarche in Atlanta does math.
I know. He
tagged himself.
Copy and paste his own title and then put
that's a long
at the end.
That's a long disclosure. It's too long of a disclosure.
Just read does math part.
It says so August 2023. Is that really? Wouldn't it be this year? Was it not this year? Well, August 2022.
Yeah, 20 more episodes is.
What do you, Matt?
20 weeks.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. It's a dad joke. Dan, before we get into these articles, would you tell people what this show is actually all about?
I'd love to. We should note that Melissa Marr's birthday is on a Wednesday this year, so in August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. What if it's the same day?
Where is it this year? Where's the Tom Ferry Summit?
I think it's in Dallas again because they can't trust the shutdowns.
We don't have any more shutdowns. We're awesome here in California.
Whenever they planned it, there was the whole variant thing happening.
Well, there's going to be another one of those. Remember at the prediction show last year, I predicted another 5 variants or whatever I predicted. And I just saw an article the other day. It was like, I don't even know what the current one is, the omnibus or whatever. New omnibus.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here we go. So I'm going to.
Another one.
Yeah, there's DJ Khaled. Another one.
DJ. Another one.
He now works for the
Variant.
CDC. Another one. I'm calling this one. Get the party started. Variant. Another one.
Major key.
Anyway, when Ray and I met here on the interwebs, 5-6 years ago, it's been a while. Again, I always say this, but before or right after, like Al Gore invented the internet, and then we met like the next day in AOL chat rooms. It was awesome. It was a little weird because I was 20 something at the time and he was 12. But anyway,
oh my God.
I digress. But we've remained friends ever since. That took a weird turn. I apologize. I don't actually, you know what? I don't, because everyone knows it's a joke. And if you don't, cancel me. I don't care. Anyway.
There you go. Matt Lamar. She said 39 male Atlanta.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen those reels, by the way? The sound that'll forever separate like your generation and then obviously mine and so on from the kids now. And they hear that sound and they're like, what's that? And you're like,
what is that?
Just pain increasing on your face. But they're like, I have no idea what that is because they're connected to the internet automatically. Matt's married as well. So yeah, Al Gore invented the internet and then pants, and then we met. So I'd had an idea for a show because I am, in fact, a bearded man of real estate. And when I met Ray, I noticed something very interesting about him.
Really, Dan? What was that?
He's never, not once, grabbed the mic at a karaoke party. Never, not once.
That's not true.
Actually, I know the answer to this one.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah. I like the karaoke. There's two types of karaoke that's great. Karaoke where someone is legit good, where they can carry a tune,
and you're like, oh,
yeah, we're like, wow, pleasant surprise. They
singing into that horrible house mic. Yeah,
right. That guy actually sounds like Ray LaMontagne. Let's continue listening. And the other best karaoke is someone that is so bad, but they think they're good. Those are the best. The ones
they
that
know
are
all
like,
the lyrics. They know everything about the song. They've been listening to it forever, but they can't sing at all. Yeah.
The ones that are cringe for me are the ones who legit think they're great and they're bad. That's hard for me.
Yeah.
That's hard for me to watch. There used to be a show. Did you know this? There used to be a show where it was like American Idol. It was all couched like American Idol. But instead of choosing the best singers, they chose the worst singers. But contestant didn't know that they were choosing the worst.
Oh,
do you remember this? Guys, what was the name of that show? And I loved that show because they were like the worst karaoke singers. It was the best. And then they won at the end, and they found out that you're actually the worst singer, but you get like $100,000, and they got a recording contract, and they got voice lessons for someone to actually turn them into a real singer.
Okay, well, it's like, okay, so here's the rub: is you suck, but
there's hope.
Oof.
So it's all about the worst. Yeah.
Is that it?
What was the name of that show? Superstar USA? Was that really it?
I never even heard of it.
I'm gonna look this up. Superstar.
If this is in the last few years, I haven't paid for normal TV in the last few years. So I don't.
This is it.
Oof.
Oh my goodness. I probably can't play anything because we'll get. Let me share that tab.
I know, like when we used to get blocked. Remember back in the day when I had picks of the week when I'd throw one of my favorite bands out there. That was good stuff.
Yeah, Dan used to throw favorite bands out there of people he knew, and he would be like, "Can I share it?" And they're like, "Yeah, you could share it." And then we'll get a takedown notice from Sony.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I knew the band members, and they're like, "Yeah, of course you can play it." And then Sony's like, "No, you can't do that."
No, you can. All right, so here it is. Superstar USA. Here's some photos from it. There's the winner. Cruelest, meanest reality TV show.
Is she a winner though?
Oh, the singing show that pretended it was a real singing show. Yeah.
Oof.
And they had the characters, they had the Simon Cowell type of
character. It was on the WB.
Yeah. It was so, man, I wish I could play some of these.
That's just like
let's do like a 4-second. We'll see if we can get a 4-second. Hang on.
Jamie. And that's why
Oh.
Johnny, I
Oh,
my performance was really good.
Okay, that's all I can show probably. All right, that's all we're gonna do for that one.
So
All right, so yes.
Ray does love himself some karaoke, but more than that, he loves giving value upfront to not only his clients, but just to humans in general. So the show's about being more as an agent, but also being more as a human.
Yep. And one of the ways we think, one of the ways we believe in being more is to know what in the world is going on.
And to share clips from Superstar USA.
And well, you know, that's the much maligned and adored Banter.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready to get into the actual show now?
I think so. I don't have much more banter in me today. I think we're good. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. You're late.
Ray, I seriously waited for you to do a sound effect. I forgot we don't have a sound
forgot we don't have that sound effect. Yeah, you know what, Dan? Dan, you were probably waiting for something like this.
That's exactly what I was waiting for.
All right, so let's talk about mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are surging faster than expected, prompting economists to lower their home sales forecast. Dun, dun, dun. So last week during the show, we saw this happen too with the Fed rate. Where's the I guess I'm just going to start in the middle of the show. That's fine. All right. So the average rate on a popular 30-year fixed hit 4.72% on Tuesday, moving 26 basis points higher since just Friday, according to Mortgage News Daily. A shift in the policy outlook from the Federal Reserve suggesting far more rate increases than expected is pushing bond yields higher. The 30-year fixed mortgage loosely follows the yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury, which is now at the highest level since May of 2019. This is a quote from Matthew Graham. He's the chief operating officer at Mortgage News Daily. He said rates have a small chance to top out before hitting 5% and a good chance of topping out before hitting 6%. He said it is a rapidly moving target in this environment where we legitimately and unexpectedly find ourselves needing to be concerned with inflation for the first time since the 1980s. Do you remember what happened to rates in the 1980s, Dan?
Yeah, they went up crazy high.
Crazy high. And for
and
years and years,
still buying houses.
Yeah, that's true too. And for years and years, we've been saying, hey guys, rates are at an all-time low. Rates are at an all-time low. Rates are at an all-time low. They're going to go up. They're going to go up. And we just looked like the boy who cried wolf for a long time. Right.
But until we're right.
And so if we keep saying it long enough, though, it's just, we're going to be right.
That's the entire fulcrum of this show is if we say it long enough, we're going to be right.
That's right. And sure enough, it looks like rates are definitely going to go up.
Stephanie's got some jokes today.
So it's let me see if I can see them all. Oh, there it is. She said, "Sounds like love. I love love."
And then go back to her previous one. Read them out of order. A win is a win.
Yeah, I think she was talking about the singing competition that wasn't the singing competition on that one.
Right, but it's all the narrative. We control the narrative here, Stephanie.
That's right. Okay, so the rise in rates comes on top of an already sizzling housing market. Demand remains strong, supply historically low. This has pressured some home prices, which are already up 19% in January year over year. Let's see, that is a double whammy that erodes affordability for home buyers, especially first timers, said Frank Knopfleft. He's the chief economist at CoreLogic. First-time home buyers are a sizable part of prospective shoppers, and their purchases have slipped from a year ago. We'll be revising our home sales forecast a bit lower. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and there's a couple articles that mention this, that they're going to be revising a little bit lower. So, well, I'm going to wait. I have questions, but I'm going to wait till the refi one. But if at the end of this one, I think this is the article. Do we have the one? They declined 7.2%. Where's that?
Yeah. I'm going to go up to that first one now.
Yeah.
We're a little bit out of order, but it's going to work.
Yeah.
And then I want to get some feedback especially from our Clubhouse folk who can chime in via audio. So let's cover a couple of these about the housing forecast, and then we'll jump into that.
Yeah, because
what was that, Dan?
That's where I want to. I know. I can't see Ray, so I don't know when he's pushing these buttons. Anyway,
I could just push them at any time.
I know, it's awesome. But that's what I want to hear, and I'll read those stats that I found that I did the sleuthing on.
Okay. Existing home sales declined 7.2% in February. Aiming to lock down mortgage rates ahead of anticipated spike, American homebuyers went on a shopping spree in January last month, and spike arrived, and home sales slowed to their lowest rate in months. I'm like reading terribly today.
It was okay.
Existing home sales dropped to seasonally adjusted 6.02 million in February, down 7.2% from January and 2.4% from February in 2021, according to the monthly report from the National Association of Realtors.
That's interesting. So it got real hot in January, like the article says, but a year ago, it's only down 2%, which statistically is almost a wash, right?
Statistically is a huge decline, and the market's crashing. NAR chief economist Lawrence attributed the drop to surging mortgage rates and prices driven by low inventory. He says, quote, housing affordability continues to be a major challenge as buyers are getting a double whammy. Some who had previously qualified at a 3% mortgage rate are no longer able to buy at a 4% rate. I hate to say I told you so, but we literally said this on the show last year, that if you're currently approved to purchase a property at $300,000 and the rate goes up, then you may not be able to afford that home anymore. And you may be looking now at a $280,000 or $290,000, and the home prices are going to continue to go up. So we were shouting from the rooftops by now.
Yes. And I shouted all the same things to my clients and all of my buyer leads that weren't quite ready.
Yeah. Sales dropped year over year in every region except for the South, where faster job growth resulted in a 3% gain in sales over February 2021.
Huh.
The South also saw its highest annual price increase.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Read that again.
Sales dropped year over year in every region except for the South,
okay,
where faster growth resulted in a 3% gain in sales over February of 2021.
And then what about
the South also saw the highest annual price increase of 18.1% to a median of $318,800.
And also job growth, right? So if we make more jobs and get more people back to work, that should support the economy. More people want to move, more inventory comes on the market. Huh. Weird. Not a crash. Huh.
So what's the Fed do? If you guys were watching the show last week, and we said it, we said that this happened on the show last week, but it was like a blip because the news had just come out and there was really nothing for us to talk about because there were no pieces written on it yet. It was just hey, this happened. Hopefully y'all don't hear the chiming of my computer. Hang on.
No.
Okay, good. All right. So here's what the Fed did. The Fed makes its move. More rate hikes are coming. So this is one that the previous article alluded to, but the Federal Open Market Committee on Wednesday, during our show last week, it raised the federal funds rate for the first time in 4 years, making an end to the easy money that gave rise to the hottest mortgage market in U.S. history. The FOMC, as was predicted, raised the federal funds rate by 25 basis points, 0.25 to 0.5%, and the first time from the FOMC has changed the federal funds rate in 2 years, and the first rate hike since March 2018. I felt like they were moving it more than that, but they were just doing the purchases. They were buying bonds.
The FOMC, that's a hashtag.
Federal Open Market Committee.
No. We use that for the show. Fear of missing content. We use that. If you don't watch our show, it's FOMC, fear of missing content.
Oh, that's good.
Need to watch our show.
The Fed worked to ensure today's announcement would not be a surprise, with the rate hike following a series of foretelling decisions, including its acceleration of asset tampering in December through the end of its asset purchase program. Yeah. So at the end of its asset purchase program earlier this month, Realtor.com's chief economist Daniel Hale said in a statement.
Okay. So by the way, you guys getting any, I'm getting so much like spam and like phone
calls,
scammers and stuff, calling, emailing, like literally in the last half an hour, I've gotten a text, 2 emails, and a bunch of calls, like all just trying to scam me.
They've really turned up the attacks on the elderly, Dan.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm now in the elderly class. I'm a Zoomer. They're
all right. So one more article, and then let's open it up for discussion.
At his advanced age.
Mortgage refinance demand plunges 14% as interest rates spike higher. So this is more on the reside part of this, but they also talk about purchase applications. So a sharp increase in mortgage rates is taking its toll on demand, especially refinances. Total mortgage application volume fell 8.1% last week compared with the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association seasonally adjusted index. So most of our buyers and sellers out there that see this headline, some are going to catch the refi thing, but most of the people are going to be like, wow, mortgage applications, they're totally plunging. This is terrible. Okay. As a result, applications to refinance a home, which are sensitive, they fell 14% from the previous week.
Yes.
Mortgage applications to purchase a home, which are less sensitive, it only fell 2%.
Right.
It was 12% lower than a year ago, same week a year ago. So it's not terrible on the purchase applications week to week. It's pretty steady.
It's pretty steady. And remember, interest rates a year ago were still 3%, 3.25.
Yeah. So it's still pretty high given all that and the super low inventory. It's still pretty high.
The title of this article should have been refis do what they're expected to do because interest rates are higher. That's what it should be. But
and mortgage applications to purchase are only down 2%.
Right. That's what it should have been, but you're not going to get the clicks with the Be More, This Week in Real Estate written headlines.
So the quote is the number of high quality refi candidates was already down more than 75% through last week. So these latest jumps will likely cut that even further. Andy Walden, Vice President of Enterprise Research at Black Knight. Frank, what was Frank and Tony? He had a quote on here.
Mike Frat and Tony.
Yeah. Let me find it. It may have been the last. Okay. The jump in rates comes as markets move to price in a much faster pace of rate hikes, as well as expectations of MBS purchases, mortgage-backed securities purchases from the Federal Reserve. Mike Frantantoni, the MBA's chief economist, said, MBA, the Mortgage Bankers Association, new March forecast expects mortgage rates to continue to trend higher throughout the course of 2022. And one of his last quotes, he said, first-time home buyers who rely on government programs are increasingly challenged by both the rapid increase in home prices and the higher mortgage rates. And I would also say the limited supply that is making those government loan programs less attractive in a more competitive buying environment.
Right.
Okay. So let's I feel like I need I'm going to do the transition for Matt here. All right, so let's open this up for discussion. What we're seeing is that there's a decrease. There's still a decrease in inventory. There still seems to be strong buyer demand. However, rates are going up at a really, really rapid rate. So home prices are still super high, but now people can't afford them. Are we going to see home prices start to come down? Let me get to some of the commenters on the YouTube. Tom Tezak, man, I was just talking about you yesterday and how cool it would be to do real estate in Hawaii. He said, I get those calls all the time. Damn, I'm old.
That's the confirmation that you're old.
Yeah. He's seeing more cash buyers, less financed buyers. All right. So what's going on in your area? What are you seeing? Mary said aloha.
Anybody but Matt.
Stephanie said her mom paid 10% on her first home in the 1980s. That was her rate.
Yeah.
All right, Clubhouse. Flash your mic if you want to comment. What's up, Andy? I see you, man. We have Andy, Steven, Shawnee. All right. So I got Melanie and then we'll go to you, Andy. What's up, Melanie? I can't hear you. Is it me? Hang on. I can't hear you, man. I don't even see the little symbol around you saying that you're saying anything. Andy, will you try to talk for me?
Oh, Melanie left.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear both of you now. All right, go ahead, Melanie.
All right, sorry about that. Melanie Hay from Southwest Michigan. And I think it's interesting because I've just been looking at what my childhood home was purchased for and what my parents sold it for and what it's worth now. And the first house that they bought was worth $27,000 and it came with a lot next to it. And they were paying 14% in interest. They sold the lot off next door and I think about 8 years. So they held it about 10 years. They sold the property for $83,000 and then they bought another one. Then my parents got divorced. My mother bought one for $83,000. That same property that she bought in 1985 sold last year for $830,000. And the interest rates are down. But I mean, that's an interesting thing to look at what the market is doing in different parts of the world.
30, what is that? 38 years, something like that? 30 something years.
Yeah, I'm old.
Is that a 1,000% increase? I'm terrible at doing that kind of stuff.
1,000.
100 times what it was sold for. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's an insane market when you're looking at it. My house that I owned just before I came here 13 years ago, I bought it for $270,000. I sold it for $320 because my husband didn't think we should have a property in another country. They did almost nothing to it, and they sold it for $630,000 4 years later.
Wow. So we have seen the rapid rise in home prices, right? So I guess kind of, Melanie, your point is even if the rates do increase, it's still a great investment because over time you're going to get the appreciation that we've seen. And so just buy and hold, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I think if you're an investor, you're looking at it from a different point of view. For someone who's looking to buy a home, then you're making a decision on a piece of property. If you've got a job that's transient, I don't think it makes sense. But right now you're seeing people, on the very bottom end, I had a client last year. She's going into retirement. She bought a home last year for $147,000. She doesn't like it. She's thinking about selling. It's worth $170,000. So right now we've got rapid growth. But even when we don't have rapid growth, and maybe it takes 10, 13, 15 years to come back, we're always seeing growth. It always comes back.
That's good. I like good point. And I'm going to read a couple of these comments too on YouTube, and Andy, will come to you. Sheila says, Sheila Cahoon. Did I say that right, Sheila? She said short sales are up 30% all over the country and foreclosures are increasing. The inventory in my country is up. County is up at a point it was 2 years ago. Okay. So how is this impacting the home prices? How is it impacting competition? Are people on the lower 1/3 of your market able to find what they're looking for and purchase it currently? She goes on to say, I don't think it will be a crash, but more of a correction. Raul. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm actually logging into my MLS so I can check some numbers. Because I kind of agree with that. The correction, right?
Mm-hmm.
But will it be?
Oh, you're breaking up for me.
No, I can.
You're choppy.
Let's see,
I might be choppy for everyone else yet. We'll see what they say. It might be my internet connection.
I can reconnect too. I'm good. My internet's solid.
It's probably me then. Raul says, or it may just be the StreamYard thing. Raul Cordona, he says, with the rates going up, it's bringing the actual values more in line with realistic values. It's also making the buyer, we are seeing better qualified and really motivated to buy.
He had another one too. If you scroll up to his last one, about South Texas is booming.
He said our area in South Texas is booming with a lot of major industry coming into the area. Still have an inventory problem, but builders are flooding the area with new construction. So how long is that going to last? Is it going to eventually make a turn and tank? Andy, what's your take?
I'm in the line with selection, but it's gonna still take a while. At least in Metro Atlanta and Northwest Florida, where I cover, there's still a high demand. I joke and say that Atlanta is just a speed bump to get to Florida, because that's what it feels like. You're coming down from further up north, You just get a lot of people coming in with a lot of cash from up north because typically price points are a little bit higher up north than we see in the Northwest Florida area. But I think there is a correction coming, and it's going to be pushed on partially by.
So he thinks there's
rates, but yeah, it's going to be pushed on by the rates, but also I would imagine that the housing starts up again, greatly. So I think we're going to finally pick up now that the vid is over. Apparently,
yeah,
that's the way it seems. That I think construction is going to pick back up, materials are going to pick back up. Hopefully, those prices come down a little bit and allow for the home prices, especially new construction home prices, to go down as well. So we'll have to see how that goes. But again, this market, every time I turn around, this market surprises me.
Yeah, and I'm curious if we are going to actually see a dip in home prices. I think we'll see the average dip because there's going to be on the lower 1/3, there's going to be more home sales. So naturally, the average is going to dip. The median will probably go down too. But are we going to see someone that's sitting in a $300,000 house now have to sell it for $280,000? I don't think about that. Shani, I saw you flash your mic too. I'm going to get off of.
Yeah. And I apologize. I've been in and out because I had something else that was going on. But I don't know if you mentioned there's an article in Fortune about the two schools of thought regarding bear market and bull market. So Zillow group is thinking it's going to be bullish still. And then I know Reality is thinking it's the opposite. So I was just really shocked, especially about Florida. I don't know, it was a news story this weekend about Tricon Residential.
Yeah.
I understand that. Did you read that or hear that?
I've heard it. Yeah. Keep going though. You go ahead.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe in Florida, and I don't know, Andy knows about this. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the county. I have to go back and look at it. 30% of the homes are being bought by investors at full cash prices. Tricon Residential is a Canadian company that's traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and their profits are up, I believe, 40%, and they keep going. I mean, and I think rents are up. 40%, and I couldn't believe it. It was just so shocking. So, I've known about the hedge funds and institutional investors buying properties, but 30% of properties in one county, that's crazy. So that tells me that it's not going to happen. I mean, we just don't have the inventory. Even if there is a correction, there's people in sectors like where I am in the Northeast, the pharmaceutical and IT, their funds are not going anywhere, So because of that, I think it's the number of which people are going to be able to still buy. There's still a lot of segments that will still buy regardless, Yeah. And just the same with Tricon, that's shocking. 30% of the homes didn't go to buyers, and the whole story was about how buyers are locked out. And the one couple they interviewed, their rent had gone up 40% in the space of a year and a half.
And that what people were kind of mad at, and they were predicting Zillow would do is try to kind of own the block.
Right.
All right. So Barrett Moon, he's a good dude, inspector. He said, long-time listener, first-time caller. New construction prices don't have much margin to decrease with material and labor prices continuing to rise. So he's also a contractor. So so basically what he's saying is as the materials go up, then the home price is going to have to go up too. Just
for new construction, they can't decrease. And then here in California, they have to add solar panels too.
And Melrose.
Do
you still have that Melrose? I still think that's a great name for a bar.
Yeah, the Melrose.
I'm on my wire. Hang on. I'm on my wire. All right. Sorry, I was on my cord. I need a cordless one, but I can't connect a cordless one to the Rodecaster. Okay.
Any one of those buttons could have worked.
I know. Raul says we have commitments in 3 neighboring cities to build 300 to 500 homes a year for the next 5 years just to meet current need. Wow.
Right. So the next 5 years to meet current need.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Sheila goes on to say you have to educate them. It's worth the money to pay. It's worth the money you want to pay. The concern is if they buy in a seller's market, they're definitely buying at a higher market versus a balanced market. So yes, I mean, if they buy in a seller's market, they're going to buy at the top, but then you have more of, for instance, if you buy a stock at $90 and it goes up at an average rate of 6% a year versus buying the stock at $100, it still goes up 6% every year. So you still get the gain, even though you're paying more for it, which I think was Melanie's point too. Yeah. And I totally agree with her statement. It's worth what they're willing to pay for it. I think a lot of real estate agents kind of have this old mindset of like, wow, these prices are so high. You know, how can my buyer pay this? Well, the buyer is just now entering the market and they're looking at it saying, yeah, that's worth it to us to live there.
Because
so who are we, old timer, to say, wow, these prices are so high. This is not a good deal. It is a good deal if they can spend 5 to 10% of their life in the home that they want. So, I mean, I think we have to be wise and look at comparative market analysis and give them, you know, all the data to make their own decision. But in saying that, we should also not besmirch that decision just because 10 years ago, you could have bought that house for $100, you know?
Right. Or in 83, my dad bought for, because look what we're saying right now. We're saying our buyers that were probably having the same question 2 years ago when things were a little crazy or they were about to get crazy. People that bought 2 years ago, well, is it the right time to buy? Is it the right time to buy? Look at all the money they've made in the last 2 years. Yeah, it was the right time to buy. That's why I always kind of just rest on the fact that if you're ready to buy, let's look at the numbers and make sure it's the right time to buy for you. Like their decision to buy right now or wait 6 months. Yeah. I'm no one to say. I'm just here to provide them the numbers and my input on my last 11 years in this business on what I've seen. And if it's the right time for you, I'm going to help you buy right now. If you want to wait, you want to wait.
Yeah. Tom Tezek said seasoned agents need to get amnesia. That's a good way to put it. What are they seasoned with? Paprika? It's a bad dad joke. Ross says, just look at the prices of new cars. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, look at the prices of Teslas right now. But if you go back up, so my buddy Jeff had a comment. He lives in LA.
Frozen Dan?
No, one more up. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Unfrozen Dan now.
All right, here. He says,
there you go.
LA still has limited inventory. Shouldn't that keep prices high here?
Yeah. In theory, yeah, because there's one house for every 15 buyers. And the most recent offer I just got accepted last week, there was 15 other offers. So a year ago, maybe this house had 50 offers on it, but it had 15 solid offers, and we were lucky enough to beat everyone out. But there's still a lot of offers coming in, meaning 14 other buyers missed out on that one house. And there's, in the area they're looking, there's not a lot of inventory that matched this house that they were looking for. It had a pool. It had a big lot. It's a big house with a split floor plan kind of living style. So, grandparents could live that side and kids could live this side kind of thing. There's not a lot of other homes like that. So that's going to keep prices high for that one. But going back to the correction thing, who said it? Was it Sheila, I think, said the correction?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I lean but like, I think what we have to educate buyers on is, what if I buy and then the Susie Orman effect, right? What if I buy and then my house loses 50% equity or value?
Susie Orman effect.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be a kind of, it'll be more of a correction, but it'll be after it keeps going up for a while, and then it'll slowly correct. So it's still, like Ray said, if you buy a stock at 90 and it goes up 6%, and then you buy a stock at 100, it's still going to go up at 6%. But now that 6% is based on that $100
and not 90.
So
Angela Heiberger.
I'm going to guess Heiberger.
Sorry, Angela. I'm terrible. If you haven't heard me read articles and get to someone's last name, it's embarrassing.
It might be Ray's only challenge.
It's my only
good
flaw.
At a lot of things. It might be his only flaw.
It's my only flaw. Okay. So Angela said, completely agree. Buyers who are shopping in this market realize they're going to pay more for their house, but they're on board for that. It's just the market we're in, unfortunately. So she said, yes, LOL, Heiberger.
There you go. Boom. Nailed it. I was also going to with, hey, Burger. So before you hit that button with the new, because we're going to switch gears here in a minute. I wanted to, there's a report that came out that I found. Because we had, who was it? Raul talking about, a lot of us are talking about new construction and what we need.
Yeah.
So this report was released about a week ago, last Thursday on St. Patty's Day. And no, I'm not Irish. Stop asking me if I'm Irish. I'm German. Just happen to have red hair. Anyway, March 17th, new residential construction this is the February 2022 report. Building permits were at 1.859 million. Housing starts were just under 1.8 million. And housing completions were at 1.3, just over 1.3 million. The next release will be April 19th. So they also have a graph on here. And if you look at it, permits and starts, they're keeping up. So the permits that people are gaining, or the permits that people are getting, are matching the starts. They're keeping up together. The completions, so housing, if you're looking at the graph that I'm looking at, housing permits and starts are kind of going this, but then completions are kind of here. They're a little under. So completions are kind of not keeping up, probably because of the supply chain issues. But if you really look, wow, good times.
Yeah.
But if you look at those permits, they're going up. That's a positive thing. Kind of what Raul was saying to in the next 5 years to cover demand now. But that's a very positive thing out of all these negative kind of doom and gloom articles. And remember last week, what did we talk about? We talked about builder confidence was down, but permits are still there and starts are still there and they're going up. That's a good thing.
I want to dive into how you say the word permits first, but we'll skip that. You're saying permits.
Housing permits? Yeah. Yes, I do.
Instead of permits, you're saying permits.
Permits, housing permits.
Was I the only one that caught that? I mean, I think flash your mic if you caught permit. Okay. There are some people that caught permits.
Is that Canadian?
Process. The proceeds. Canadian. He came out a little bit.
A little bit. I'm a little bit Canadian.
Jeff, he said, I was wondering if there would be an actual correction versus a baby correction or a stagnant market. Wouldn't we need a bigger catalyst than rates to send the market into a fall? Sorry, I missed your response because of a pesky phone call. Yeah. I think in short, yeah. I mean, I think it's a culmination of things. It's not just rates going up. It's the lack of supply. So prices are remaining high. And when that happens, you have people that, like we were talking about, they were approved for 300,000 at the beginning of the year. And now they're looking at 280 and they couldn't find anything they wanted in 300. And now they have to go down 20,000 in order to get what they were looking for. So the affordability is going to be a big problem. And I think as people's disposable income goes away, that's also going to continue to be a problem. So I don't think it's going to lead to a crash. I don't even think it's going to lead to a correction, but I do think we'll see more and more of those headlines, home price gains slow or home price gains level off or something like that, to where we're not seeing any home price gains like we were 2 years ago, where they were just through the roof.
I'm also going to predict that influencers show a lot more pics of them with their pink drinks from Starbucks. These things are like $8.
It's going up. Mike says he's also joining us on YouTube and listening on Clubhouse. Thanks, Mike. He said supply and demand is relative. If something big happens, false flag hack of the financial system, stock market crash, interest rate spike, demand sinks, all of a sudden we have excess inventory. So one of the things that's going to loosen up some inventory, it's not going to be gigantic, but what Sheila was talking about earlier with the foreclosures and short sales going up, that should help out the bottom 1/3 of the market, because for a long time they haven't been able to. Those properties were just not available here. Like there was hardly any foreclosures at all for the last 2 years, and so now we're starting to see a couple here and there, and they're getting bid up. But that's going to help satisfy some of that demand at the bottom 1/3. But Christina M. Smallhorn has a good YouTube video about just because rates go up doesn't necessarily mean prices are going to go down on houses. And just because there's more inventory hitting the market, it doesn't necessarily mean that homes will become more affordable. So affordability is different than supply and demand. There's a lot of different economic factors that go into affordability. And so that's the buzzword that I'm watching to figure out if there is or isn't an actual secret housing crash that your realtor is not telling you about.
Well, and I watch a lot of these and I hate it. I hate that I watch them, but there's, when you're scrolling through your, whatever your suggested videos on YouTube, a lot of times a real estate one will pop up and they have like 100,000 views or some crazy amount of views, and it's some buzz or they're just trying to, it's a bait worthy click headline. Then you read it or you watch it and you're like, dude, you're just talking about the same stuff we are. But they saw, secret housing crash, and then they'll get all these views. And
that's what we're trying to do.
Right, we're just trying to get views. That's all we're trying to do.
That's what we do. Yeah.
But then they'll talk about like that one comment above, but they'll make a huge deal out of it. Foreclosures are up and short sales are up. That means the market's going to crash. So if you're going to buy, you better buy right now. If you're going to sell, you better sell right now. And it's just so, I hate it. I hate everything about it, but they don't have anything behind it.
Dusty Martin has a good, are we in Q1 still? Yeah. January, February, March. Yeah. Dusty Martin has a good Q1 reminder for this year. I think we need to remember that no matter what the market says, we need to keep in mind the ability of politicians to do some especially stupid stuff in an election year, which it is an election year, and all the way over there in Q4. All right. Well, so I think that was a good discussion. Is there anyone else on Clubhouse that wants to chime in about the market, what you're seeing? Flash your mic. I'll add you up there. All right, Mike.
Hey, I'll jump in.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so I've got this listing right now. It's a condo in Chino, and really nice place. Got a bunch of offers. My top 2 offers pulled out. They got spooked. I don't know what it was, but I'm definitely seeing that, my buyer activity is slowing down a little bit. I think that, I don't know that we're going to have a correction, but I think we're getting close. We're going to get a little bit closer to neutral in the next few months until either something big happens or, maybe the war is over. Not that it's going to have a huge impact on, interest rates or things like that. But I think there's just so much uncertainty out there that people are a little apprehensive to move forward as hard as they were.
I mean, if you're apprehensive, why not buy a house that's something that's going to appreciate in value for the next so many years?
Well, maybe they're thinking job security. Who knows what their minds are.
I've had a great little house. It's a little first time starter home. It'd be a great investment property for someone. And people keep backing out on it. It's fine. It's a great little house, but all the offers that we have are way over list, and we'll just go to the next backup offer, which is only like $200 or $300 away from the last one, and they'll back out. And so I don't know what's going on there, but I agree with you, Mike.
Now, are you seeing a lot of that, or just on this one listing?
I'm seeing a fair, for me specifically, that one listing, but I have been talking with the other agents, and 2 of those situations, the agents fired their client because it was the 3rd or 4th time that person had
got it and then backed out.
Offered, got it, and then backed out for what that agent said was no good reason. So
wow.
I don't know what that is or what's going on, but
yeah,
my seller's going to start taking some down payment. Okay. So let's get to the next article. It's a little more sensitive, and we may need some help discussing it. So let's jump in there. All right. So this is interesting. Wells Fargo sued by black borrower for refinance redlining. So refinance was all the rage in the last couple of years, as you know. And this article is from Bloomberg. It's sitting on Yahoo Finance. Is it Yahoo?
Yahoo.
You say permits and I say Yahoo.
Yep. I say Yahoo and you say permits.
That's right. So Wells Fargo and Co. was sued for discriminating against black homeowners by relying on a modernized version of redlining that allegedly denied them lower interest rates through refinancing and forced them to pay more for loans. The lawsuit filed Friday in a federal court in San Francisco as a proposed class action argues that the practices in many cases push black homeowners into foreclosure. Historically, redlining referred to the Federal Housing Administration's refusal to issue mortgages in and near black neighborhoods, and agreements that blocked or restricted the sales of homes to black Americans. Quote, federal data shows that over the last several years, thousands of black homeowners have been unable to maintain the dream of homeownership because Wells Fargo ongoing and discriminatory modern day redlining practices, according to the complaint.
So it's straight up saying that Wells Fargo specifically, not the mortgage industry, Wells Fargo is doing this.
Yeah, they're citing data from 8 million refinance applications from 2020. The lawsuit says Wells Fargo was more likely to approve refinancing applications from white borrowers earning between $0 and $63,000 annually than it was for black applicants earning between $120,000 and $168,000 annually.
So half.
Double. The black applicants were earning double. The white applicants were making half and getting approved.
So the complaint says, and I'm asking questions here. The complaint says that if a prospective, these are for homeowners, right? They're purchase, right?
Yeah. Well, so no, these are refinance applications.
So a white person walks into refi, into a Wells Fargo, and then an African American person walks into refi. White people make half. The African American family makes double the amount. They still gave it to the
white person.
I want to know.
So I have a
lot of questions.
I have a dumb question too. Maybe there's a lender who would answer some of these questions. One of my questions is, do you put race on a application for refi?
Yeah, I genuinely don't know.
I don't know either. So first, if that's even on the application, that's dumb. Take it off.
Right.
But I would, why would that be on the application? I have no idea why that would be there. I can't think of a reason that it would be there, unless there's some kind of program for minorities that would even help them.
Yeah, but then if you're applying for it, then it goes
for that specific program, put it on there.
It goes on that
don't
specific
put it on
application for that program, right? Like,
and this is maybe a dumb question. The second thing is, no one walks into a Wells Fargo. I mean, don't most people go online and fill out the thing?
Right, and then it's online. Just what are you guessing? So it's got to be. It has to.
So how do they? Yeah. So all right. So does it talk about how in the article? I can't remember. Black applicants are further subjected to delays, feigned mistakes, and other obstacles, leading many Black Americans to withdraw the request for refinancing, leading others to wait indefinitely while Wells Fargo refuses to act upon their applications.
And can I say, these are malicious? These are malicious things. If they're true, these are obviously they're accusations right now. Not
how does that? I don't understand how it happens.
But I don't. So if I'm going to move forward.
Oh, yes, please. Shani.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it might be under federal tracking purposes. And I'm actually in my home office right now. Since I keep everything, I'm going to look at my application, my last one. But I think it might be on it for federal tracking purposes. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. I'm going to try and see if I can look it up.
So you think it may be on the federal application, you said?
I thought I remember something, like the last time I moved was, probably 4 years ago, but I think for tracking, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to try and see if I can find out. I wish there was a lender in here.
I do too. Question. Usually somebody tag Ron, Paul T. There's some of our lender regulars that pop by. All right, wait.
I think I Rob Bruno. Rob Bruno, remember? Right?
We don't talk about Bruno. No. Yeah, that's the Ron. Tag him in. We want to know, how does this happen?
I think we have some non-realtors in Clubhouse if you want to try it. With hands raised.
Hey Ray, this is Deborah from Las Vegas.
I found it.
How do they know that white people make 50% more than they did?
I guess it has to be on the application, right?
It's on there. I'm looking at mine right now.
Right, but they can't see other people's applications.
That's the data.
That's just the data they pull.
They're just crunching the data. Right. That's yeah.
I was going to say they can't look at somebody else's application.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. There's a section that says demographic information addenda. I keep everything, and it has ethnicity on there, and then sex, race.
Why do they need that information? Am I naive? Like, why do they even need that?
Why?
It says on here, it's demographic information of borrower addendum. This section asks you about your ethnicity, your sex, and race. The purpose of collecting this information to help ensure that all applicants are treated fairly.
Well,
but then apparently they're not treated fairly.
before, if you were a minority, you could get help, right?
Yeah.
So now they're claiming, okay, well, we have to write it down, and now we don't want minority help. We want to sue because we're being discriminated. You know what I mean? So I don't see why they even ask that anymore. They shouldn't ask that, right?
It seems like they should just be looking at the data.
Well, here, let me make a point though. Like just
I
on,
think the
on
federal
what,
government has to collect. I think they collect the data. That's what I believe. But like I said, I think the federal government requires it. I'm not sure, but I think that's what I'm looking at. If I look at, I'm trying to read the whole paragraph.
It seems so shady.
well, let me make a point based on the data though. Like, because what it's saying is, so if I have two potential, if I'm comparing, and I see, someone that makes 63 grand a year and they're maybe B paper, they're not as well qualified. Then I see someone that makes 120 to 160 grand a year and they're A paper with great credit or everything. They're a no-brainer to get a refi. Why would I need any other info other than these people are good to refi?
Well,
it's a good risk. Why?
It says, however, if you choose not to provide the information and you have made the application in person, federal regulations require us to note your race, sex, the basis of your visual observation or your surname.
Why are we doing that?
I mean, this goes along with, remember the story we covered, was it a couple of weeks ago, Ray, where the black family removed everything personal. They put white people up and they got more money.
Yep.
I mean,
Randy, I tried to add you to the discussion. By the way, I've approved your request to speak, but I don't see you coming up here. You too as well, Anita.
Yeah. So
feel free to pop on up here. You may have to leave the room and come back or something, but I've tried to pull you up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm frustrated by the occurrence. I'm frustrated that I just don't understand why that data is going to a lender. It's something that fair housing for us as realtors. I try to treat every single person that calls me the exact same way. Even if they're a friend, I make them go through the same process as, random online inquiry, because it's just a good process. It's a good process that helps them get the house they want, that serves them the best possible way. And it doesn't matter to me if they're black, white, nothing. I just think it should be the same on the lending side as well. I don't understand why we need to collect racial information if someone is not applying for something that impacts a minority.
I don't have on my website. When you register on my website, there's nothing for race. It doesn't say.
Yeah. You don't apply to work with me. And then I ask your demographic information. That would be a fair housing, like fair housing. We jump all over that. So why are they, what is the point? That's frustrating.
I agree, Ray. I think they should change it because I think they have it from the old times where, they were discriminated because they couldn't get anything because they were a minority. Now I'm the same way. We should treat everybody equal. It shouldn't be on there.
Now, okay. So as soon as you said that, I'm looking at some of these comments. Jeff says, good Lord, another reason I hate my bank. Oh, well, okay. It may not all be banks that's doing this. Kathy said,
Wells Fargo.
They have to have the data to make the statement that it's unfair. So this is a great point. So what she's saying is, without the data, without tracking who is what, then the lawsuit could have never been brought in the first place.
Right.
That's true. But now you don't even see people whenever they apply, especially refis. I mean, you might see the house, but you don't see the person applying hardly ever because they're just going online. But this is a great Kathy Lindsay Gunderman. That's a wonderful point. Basically saying without this data, then the lawsuit couldn't happen to Wells Fargo to prove that they're doing this modernized redlining. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Go ahead.
Wells Fargo. They've done other things before. They were sued by the government for overcharging on VA loans. They were sued because they were opening up accounts fraudulently for some of their other account holders. So
yeah,
we're not surprised that it's one bank that's done a lot of this stuff. And I'm not saying the other banks aren't, but it's really highlighted with them. But I think, they want to collect that data. Although to us as realtors, we don't care what that data is. The only color we're concerned about is green. We do all this work up front and don't get paid until the end. They
It's
don't care who's actually giving us the money. As long as it's green.
It took me a second when you said green. I was like, what? But I get it. All right. Mike Elizabeth Brodell said maybe the government is trying to track to get easier numbers on race and sex, not being discriminated against. Like many banks lower the rate of minority works against the lender. Like maybe a bank's lower rate of minority works against the lender. Yeah. So basically saying kind of the same thing as Lindsay said too. If you don't have the data, then you can't make sure everyone's treated equally. But if you're collecting the data, then you have an opportunity for someone to discriminate.
Or you have an opportunity to help where numbers are lower and say, well, that's an area we need to target, but then you're also open for the other side of it, right?
Yeah. Jeff says they do get your social, and with that, you can pull the profile. Wouldn't that disclose race? That's interesting. I don't know.
With the social security number?
I don't know. I would, is that in a database somewhere? Probably. Justin Conoco, the Canadian, says, but what about zombies? So you can discriminate against them? If you guys weren't here a month ago when we had the zombie discussion, that's what he's referring to.
I mean, I wouldn't discriminate against a zombie as long as they make $160,000 a year and have really good credit. I mean, I don't know where they're getting their down payment from. Jobs for zombies right now are limited. Well, they are limited.
They could always drive a hearse because people are dying to get in those things.
Wait, Justin, you can't say classic Justin about yourself. You can't say classic.
No, he can. Classic Justin.
Classic me. Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
What he means by zombie, by the way, is EXP. I sold to an EXP agent.
All right. So I think
oh, sorry, Canadians.
I think we've kind of come full circle in this, right? So initially we were like, what the heck? Why are they collecting this information? And then we quickly realized that without that information, they couldn't even bring the lawsuit. So maybe it is good to collect the information for accountability's sake. That's the only thing I can think of. For accountability, collect the information. But by collecting the information, you open yourselves up to two opportunities, one to discriminate and the other to help.
And can we say that if there's any truth to the, this nefarious plot that's going on, obviously it has to stop. If they're collecting this data only to then underserve certain markets or demographics, that's a horrible thing. That should never happen. Obviously. So yeah, it shouldn't happen. If there's any truth to this, Wells Fargo should pay, and they should probably go out of it. They should probably have to rebrand like they did 6-7 years ago when there was that big scandal. Yeah. There was a tango down.
Okay. Yeah. What is not, what doesn't have information on your race, Dan? The blockchain. Figure and Apollo.
This is specifically for Ray. I don't get it. I'm old. I'm a Zoomer. I don't understand any of it. I hate it. I think it's dumb. I'm just kidding. I don't. I actually listened to Ray on this, and if you don't, we're gonna at the end of the show. You got to stay till the end of the show, but we're gonna say where you can find us on Instagram. And he posted a reel of us, and Ray makes a really good point about blockchain.
Whoa! I'm gonna win him over. All right, Figure and Apollo complete ownership transfer via blockchain. So Figure, a blockchain-focused financial service company, and Apollo, a global alternative asset manager.
Okay, hold on. We got to give props to Matt on this dad joke. This is legit. Read Dusty's comment.
Okay, Dusty said, I totally discriminated against zombie. I don't want to be stuck showing a vacant house to someone who wants to eat the contents of my brain.
Now go down to Matt's most recent comment.
Dusty, you need to be more open-minded.
No sound effects.
Sound effects?
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, come on.
You know what? I figured
not
he
the
would
one
say,
I wanted, but I don't control the sound effects.
I thought he would say something like, Dusty, you don't have anything to worry about a zombie coming after your brain.
Love you, Dusty.
All right. Anyway, back on this. Figure and Apollo complete ownership transfer. So Figure, a blockchain-focused financial services company, and Apollo, a global alternative asset manager, announced today completing a transfer involving the origination of a digital mortgage loan, and the transfer of ownership via blockchain technology, according to the press release shared.
Okay, wait. Can I just ask you right there, Ray? So if I'm the original owner and I sell via blockchain, do I still have a percentage of ownership even though I'm gone, and I will make money as that thing is sold in the future? Is that a possibility?
It's more of like an NFT thing.
Okay.
So in this case, probably, I mean, it depends on how it was all.
That's why I'm asking. Like, is that where this is all going? If
it could, that's why I think people would be more interested in it.
Right.
Is because when someone figures out that they could put a house on the blockchain and then a small percentage of whatever sale happens in the future goes back to them.
Yeah.
That's enticing.
Well, it's like in commercial real estate, you can like, if you help your clients sign a 5-year lease on a commercial building, you can put it in your contract to where if they sign again another 5 years, you get that commission too. I mean,
yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? During the transactions, Apollo purchased eNote digital mortgage assets originated by Figure, that's that other company, on the Province blockchain, and registered its digital asset registration technologies, or DART, platform via an investment vehicle it manages on the blockchain-based marketplace. That's a lot of hullabaloo. Some of you know exactly what we're talking about.
Hullabaloo.
There's actually hullabaloo. Is that the right term?
Hullabaloo.
Crypto Bella probably knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
She's down there in the I see.
Oh, sorry. I denied her request to speak, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, you did? Oh, you got to bring her back up.
Okay, sorry.
With technology impacting all areas of our lives, it's time for participants across the mortgage ecosystem to experience an improved process that simply works better and costs less, said Danielle Wallace, GM of Figure Lending. Blockchain can provide enhanced protections and transparency in the ownership process for consumers and real-time settlement for investors, replacing trust with truth to create a faster, more efficient process for everyone. This important development demonstrates just one way that blockchains will provide significant improvements to the streamlined mortgage lending space. That's another quote by Wallace. So this is kind of the direction that I think things are going to go. I think this is going to be revolutionary for the market as a whole.
That's why I threw this article in there. You know, I know Ray loves to talk about this stuff, and
this is super early.
What's the group called?
Real Crypto. So it's real estate crypto.
Yeah. And I threw this in there because I found it, and I was like, all right, I think this will pique Ray's interest, and when we can chat about it on the show, and I think we can get Crypto Bella up right now.
Oh, she's there. Yeah. So me and Zachary Faust were talking about this after a Tom Ferry conference, actually. And I asked Zachary, I was like, are you in a crypto mastermind as it relates to real estate? And he was like, no. I said, do you know of one that we could join? He said, no, we should start it. So I think it was during some of the basketball games, we just made it. And so it's Real Crypto. You can find it on Facebook. We're going to be going through like a series of 5 or so videos to take someone from not knowing anything about crypto or how it works to having an understanding of how it works as it relates to real estate, virtual real estate, and NFTs. And we're going to start, the first episode's coming up, and we're going to start with encryption, because that's kind of the basis of all this stuff. Encryption is how to send data back and forth. Like me and Dan can send some data back and forth. And if anyone intercepted it in the middle, they would have no idea what it says. But Dan's got a key, I've got a key, and we could talk to each other through this encryption. It's like the old decoder rings.
Yeah.
Right?
I have a decoder ring. He has a decoder ring. It's a lot easier to read, though, because it decodes it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the beauty of the encryption. So we're going to be talking about the encryption process and all the blockchain stuff. The reason why we talk about that is because if we just start talking about blockchain and all that, people are like, well, how is it secure? Well, it's encrypted. So we're going to talk about encryption, then we're going to talk about blockchain, and then we're going to talk about coins and currency. Then we're going to talk about NFTs and then
non-fungible tokens.
Non-fungible token. Your house is non-fungible.
You cannot fungent them. They're non-fungible.
So I'd love, Crypto Bella, since you came up here, I'd love to get your opinion on crypto and blockchain as it relates to real estate if you're there.
You have 30 seconds. Go.
You got longer than that. You got longer than that.
You deny my request to come up, and then you only give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, girl, tell him.
No, I think that the possibilities are endless. You're seeing it around the world, not yet in the U.S., where these NFTs or DAOs are buying hotels or VRBOs, etc., and then dishing out royalties based on that DAO. So that's super interesting. Where I actually see NFTs going with real estate is that on the Avalanche blockchain currently, those NFTs can be updated. So if you can imagine having a house that you turn into an NFT with all of the property data, photos from different time periods, improvements that were done, you get a new roof, you upload the invoice into the NFT, how valuable that property would be.
All the seller's property disclosures, the surveys.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
All in an upgradable NFT. So you can't mute out the previous information, but you can add new information to it. So I see that being where the future lies with real estate and NFTs. And then being able to then integrate an MLS that accepts those NFTs as the accurate data. I mean, the possibilities are freaking endless. So that's where I see this going.
I only have one correction for you, Crypto Bella. It actually has happened in the US so far. So if you...
Yeah, but it was like a one-off. You're talking about the stuff in Tampa?
Yeah. It's totally one-off. There's also, last week we talked about a company that would allow you to get a loan against your crypto portfolio.
And they shut them down.
They did? The one in Miami?
Yeah, they shut them down.
Wait, what?
The one in Miami that she's talking about, the one in Miami that we talked about a month ago. There's one last week that talked about getting a loan to purchase fractional real estate and loaning against the crypto. But who shut down this? This is breaking news.
Wait a second. No. I'm thinking about the company that was out of Canada that would actually loan you. No. I'm talking about a different company. Sorry, not the one out of Miami. I've talked to lenders in Ohio. They're taking that into, they're taking crypto portfolios as collateral on loans here as well. But I think that's just, they're looking at it as an overall. It can't be your only asset, but it can be one of the many assets that you show to get approved for a loan.
Yeah, I've got on our screen now. This is the first house that was sold. What she was talking about in Tampa, real estate backed NFT sold for $653,000. This is on Blockworks. It's a blockchain news outlet. Anyway, they talk about all of it there, so you can check that out. The Milo, M-I-L-O, they were the ones that announced the first U.S. crypto mortgage. I believe that was in Miami. I think it's a Miami-based company. Get that on the screen too so people can see it. Milo in Miami. All right, so this basically lets you borrow against your crypto portfolio to purchase real estate. M-I-L-O. So, well, thanks for popping up here, Crypto Bella. I appreciate you dropping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry my compadre tamped you down there.
I'm just going to watch when she just changes her name back to Bella.
Well, to be fair, we do get a lot of people trying to come on the podcast and pitch their NFT and stuff like that.
And that's immediately what I thought of. So I apologize, Bella. I really do.
He's not in the world. He's not in the world of.
No, you're good. I used to be by my real name on Clubhouse, but then because you're a real estate agent, they can find your telephone number. It was not a good thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm changing my name right now. Crypto Dan.
Yeah. Crypto Dan.
Crypto Dan. Here we go.
Blockchain Ray.
There we go.
That's a different show. Well, thanks for popping up. If you guys are interested in the real estate crypto space, go over to the Real Crypto Mastermind in Facebook, because we're going to highlight
Bella
everything.
sounds like she knows what she's doing, so you should get her.
We need to have Bella. We need to have Bella on the thing with me and Zachary on the Zoom call.
You guys are going to make me go to Facebook?
Yeah, I know.
Well, how about
to get away from it?
The Instagram doesn't have the group thing.
Yeah, I can't do the group thing. But hey, Bella, what if we had you on our show? We'll bring you up live on our show to have a little bit more of a detailed discussion. How about that?
I love it. Let's do it.
I like it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to deny the whole time. Just a little bit of foreshadowing. I'm just going to deny the stuff all the time. But Ray's going to be a fan. It's going to be a good discussion.
I am a fan. I'm a fan. All right. All right. So the next article, we're going to slam through these next couple of ones pretty quickly because we got to run. But check this out. Compass claims top U.S. brokerage spot for 2021 sales.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, after just missing the top spot in 2021 brokerage ranking, Compass has come out as the largest in the United States in terms of closed sales volume. Real Trends cited rapid growth in terms of agent count, rising home prices for the brokerage's debut in the number one spot based on 2021 earnings.
Now, you got to keep in mind, this is single brokerage, not franchised. This doesn't take in the numbers from KW and Remax and Coldwell Banker. No, KW is number one and Remax is number two.
Are you telling me that this is like a Home Snap award?
This is kind of like a Home Snap award. And if you also keep reading down there, he has a quote that says he talked to all of his agents on a Zoom. He says, where does he say? You can, there you go. Yeah. You can now, this is a quote from Robert Refkin.
You can now tell every past, present, prospective client that you are part of the largest brokerage in the country.
Right.
You can have confidence that your referral network officially is the best in the United States. And you can take pride in the fact that your success is a vital part of something much bigger. So they have 26,000 agents in 69 markets.
Right.
Fourth quarter earnings added 7,000 agents and launched in 25 new markets. Overall, Compass closed 225,000 total transactions in the fiscal year.
Right.
It's 254 billion, an increase of 68% from the previous year.
Right. So they're definitely rising, but just FYI, Remax closed over 2 million sides.
I hate it. It's a pet peeve of mine a little bit where they like pick their own category in which they're good. Like we're number one in agent count. We're number one in the most markets opened. We're number one, and it's just annoying. But it's still big news. I mean,
they're growing. That 68% number is a big deal. But when they it's like they say all the news, or they read the entire. All right, so you're number one if all of these boxes are checked, and they don't mention the boxes checked. They just say we're the number one brokerage. So the story goes out, and how I read it was what? So I immediately reached out to my broker, and he's like, "Dude, you're like the fifth person to reach out to me." And that's not true. They're a brokerage. They are one brokerage, not franchise. Franchise, Keller Williams, I think, is number one, and then Remax, then Coldwell Banker.
So that franchise category is a category of its own.
Yeah, so that's if you're going based on Home Snap stuff, and then you got to add Lamert and Volkers or whatever Malarsh is with. What did he say?
It's not Lamert. I know.
Lamert and Volkers.
Engel,
what did he say?
Engel and Volkers.
Engel and Volkers.
Yeah, it's not Lamert. All right.
I don't know where.
So this is kind of part of the same article. It says Compass scales back employee stock awards after shares plunge. Is this year? Yeah, March 18th. When was this last article? March 17th. So literally a day after. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was scrolling through the Real Deal last night. I was sending Ray stuff like left and right. He's like, that's a lot.
This one's behind a paywall, so I don't know all the details. I'd love it for a Compass agent to talk about it. Compass, the residential brokerage, tops all others by closed sales. Pumped the brakes on equity compensation for employees after its stock price plunged 70% since it went public a year ago.
Why though? Why did that happen?
I don't know. It's behind a paywall. I have no idea. Do you know? Did you really research this? I did not have time to research this.
No, because I didn't. It wasn't behind a paywall last night.
If you were an employee, wouldn't you want more? Like you'd want more. Like let's say you're making $5,000 contributions, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want a $5,000 contribution when the stock price is lower, so that you actually
own more
once it goes up?
Stocks.
Yeah, that's interesting. So who's the big backer for Compass? Is it SoftBank still?
Yeah. I think so.
All right. So anyway, we're going to keep our eye on that. Interesting.
Malarsh and Volkerson.
That's what it is. Malarsh and Volkerson. There you go. Kathy,
it's just called Real Crypto.
Kathy Lindsay Gooderman says, "Real crypto what?" There's a ton of real. You probably didn't say it with that attitude, but I'm going to give it to you. Real crypto what?
That's how I read it.
A ton of real estate crypto groups.
That's how I read it too. Real crypto what, Ray? There's a ton of those groups.
I'm trying to find it. All right, hang on. It's got a picture of me on it. So,
by the way, Lamarche found it. If you're in Clubhouse, you can just click on it right there. He's got it in our group now, in our actual Clubhouse.
Posted it both on YouTube and Facebook just now. There's the group for you. Yay, more people in the group. It's a good little size group. 551 people interested in real estate and crypto. Okay. Oops. Hang on.
So interesting. Something to watch. Something to watch. They're scaling back. Yeah.
Weird stuff. The whole SoftBank thing. Wasn't SoftBank? Didn't they back WeWork? And now there's the movie
big time until that CEO went nutty and they were like, whoa.
And now there's a show about him on Apple. Did you know this?
Good thing I don't support Apple.
Oh, you should. It's called We Watched or something like that.
That's funny.
Kathy says, got it. And no, I didn't mean it like that. Wait, she says, got it. And no, I didn't mean it like that.
God, I didn't mean like that, Ray.
That's not how she meant that either.
That's what happens. You got to come on Clubhouse so we can hear you actually speak. If you just comment on YouTube and Facebook, which is great,
we're going to put whatever attitude we want with it.
But we can add whatever attitude we want. Like Matt, it'll be Larson vocals soon. Dan.
All right, let's go to our last article. TOMO raises $40 million Series A and hits a $640 million valuation.
That they made up.
No. So TOMO is a fintech startup focused on purchase mortgage sector, announcing raising $40 million in Series A, according to a press release. The fundraise more than doubles TOMO's valuation to $640 million, included participation from existing investors, Ribbit Capital, NFX, and Zig Capital. New investors, Telesoft Partners, Parker 89. I don't know any of these folks. Sorry. Nope. The company recently raised $70 million seed round in June 2021. TOMO says it will use the new capital to invest in its software development, data science, and industry relations to continue to launch its platforms in all 50 states. So
they don't do anything yet. They haven't launched yet, right?
You might recognize this name though. Greg Schwartz. Former Zillow exec. And what I said was the canary in the coal mine
when he left
Zillow.
Yeah, because he was our main realtors. He was pro agent, and he left. And then
he said, "We're maniacally focused on improving the purchase mortgage experience, and have never been distracted by temporary profits of the refi business. As homes continue to sell at a rapid clip, this focus has allowed us to sidestep the disorder that many lenders now find themselves in, and to make huge leap forwards in serving home buyers and partnering with real estate agents," stated Greg Schwartz, TOMO's chief executive officer and co-founder in the release.
Didn't you meet this guy?
So they don't do. Yeah, no, I met him. I met Greg a couple of times. I met Greg first when he was with Zillow, and then I met him again with TOMO. But basically, they don't do refi. So they've actually been just focused on the process, making the process better for consumers to get a loan. We got to have him on the show sometime. He said in less than a year since they launched their online platform, a team at TOMO has proven that they have drive and experience to transform the mortgage industry. That's Tilly Bennett, managing partner at SVB Capital. So basically, they're trying to change the lending world, like Zillow changed the consumer home search world.
They did a lot when he was there.
Yeah, they did a lot with real estate agents when he was there too. So I'll go to a conference and see Greg there, and he's got some good people around him. They're nice, and they always talk about wanting to keep agents central to the process, but making the lending side easier.
Yeah, so something to watch. Maybe you'll have because they haven't launched yet. It said they haven't not launched yet, but they're looking to launch in all 50 states.
I thought they're open in a couple of states because Katie Day uses them in Texas.
Maybe they just haven't launched in all states.
Yeah. The company's expanded to 7 states since it was founded in October of 2020.
Oh, there you go.
So they're in 7 states. The release noted it now provides service in Michigan and Ohio, following the recent news that TOMO expanded to Florida, Colorado, and Connecticut.
Connected up.
So they're not everywhere, but as they come to your city, look for them. Tell us what you think.
I mean,
does anyone use them right now? Flash your mic. No. Any commenters use TOMO? Have you used TOMO? You got an opinion on TOMO?
Team at TOMO? Anyone? Crypto Bella? No.
Yeah. Crypto Bella. She gone.
Love you, Crypto Bella. I'm just kidding.
She said her piece and she was out.
I know. She was like, boom, I don't need to be here anymore.
Those guys keep muting me. I'm out of here. We didn't mute her. We didn't mute her.
I just thought it was going to be spammy. I really did. I'm sorry, Crypto Bella.
Our buddy Howard's checking in from Israel. What's up, Howard?
He's one of the ones that makes us one of the fans and contributors that makes us worldwide, world famous. Yep.
So I was looking up our podcast ranking the other day, Dan.
We're in the top 90%.
Yeah, we are in the top 90%, but I couldn't find. This is why I was trying to look it up to like find what percentage we were actually in for that Home Snap mock award that we did.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find it, and the only like ranking that I could find would give me the rank and say in Taiwan. So I don't know why all of our ranking numbers and figures are as it compares to Taiwan, but we're still ranked in Taiwan.
We're still doing well over there.
I have no idea. Well, I don't know why. I don't know what's happening, but it would really help us out to maybe be ranked in the US if more of you from the US would review the podcast.
Please and thank you.
If you could like, I don't know, let your app track your activity.
Yeah, whatever app you're on.
Yeah, okay. Track that activity.
It doesn't want to know your demographic. It doesn't want to know your race. It just wants you to. Yeah.
Matt Lamar sharing his new tattoo.
Matt said it.
Yeah, everyone agrees with Matt.
Yeah, the top bearded real estate.
Howard said we're the top bearded show in Israel. I don't know, Rabbi. There's some good beards over there, bro.
But do they all have real estate shows? No.
No. They got Burns though.
So the top rated American bearded real estate show in Israel. That's okay. Got it. We'll take it. We're good. Let's make an award. Let's do it.
That's congrats in Taiwan. All right. So we should get this tattooed, Dan. That's what Matt Lamar said is congrats in Taiwan. We need to put that somewhere.
It on my neck. Here, I'll put it right there.
Yeah. Put it behind your ear. That's always hot.
Yeah.
All right.
And
well, thanks everybody for joining. And on that note, and on that disappointing note, thanks everyone for joining the show today. Dan, could you tell people where they could find you?
Right down here. DLettergrocks, DLEDWIGROCKS. I already have a new follower on my Instagram over there right now. So DLettergrocks, most of my stuff is on Instagram. Some of it is on Pinterest. I do a lot of stuff.
He does do a lot of pinning.
Pinning. But no, mostly on Instagram. Yeah, it's not a lot of real estate stuff, but I just post a lot of my beautiful face. And a lot of fun stuff. My daughter playing softball, my other daughter playing volleyball, lots of that stuff. Ray, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, RAYZORBACK, everywhere good Razorbacks are sold, but mainly on Instagram. So, and I have a special live coming up tonight where I'm going to go live with some folks from Spokane, which is home of Gonzaga. It's Spokane. I got corrected.
Spokane, like a true Arkansas.
Spokane. And it's home of Gonzaga. Arkansas is taking on Gonzaga tomorrow in the NCAA tournament with the last SEC team left. And we're going to do some betting on the game. So don't miss the live on Instagram over there.
Dude. And by the way, Arkansas is also doing pretty legit in the softball world as well right now. I know you don't follow them, Ray, but I do.
And baseball. Maybe I should do like a shave bet. Like if Arkansas loses, maybe I'll shave.
Please don't do that.
Well, you got to tune into the Instagram live to find out what that's going to be. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye, guys.